Hey everyone, it's Rob Loferese with Daily Classics. Today is Wednesday, January 24th, 2024. Each day I search thousands of classified car ads from the 1960s and up, and then handpick just a few worthy enough to recommend based on condition, originality, and affordability. The key is having fun by driving something you love rather than buying something new. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe below. And if you enjoy the video at the end, please give a thumbs up as well. Now let's get into today's Daily Classics feature car. And that is, and I'll blow that up for us, a 1973 Chevy Chevelle Super Sport. It's a numbers matching 454 car. True mileage unknown right now until we talk to the seller. The seller is a dealer. He's asking $15,000 for the car. And it's based in one of my favorite states to find cars, and that's Texas. And it was listed on Craigslist. The third generation Chevelle Malibu ran from 1973 to 1977 and was based off a redesigned A platform that was shared with other performance cars at the time, like the GTO, the Grand Am, and the 442. The 454 in this car was a four barrel and was rated at 245 horsepower. The Colonnade era began, and its stronger, heavier frame and beefier B pillar on both the coupe and also the sedan was designed in anticipation of new federal standards for rollover protection. Gone was the convertible, and the popular four-door hardtop sedans were also discontinued. Actually, the Colonnade was one of the last engineering projects that John DeLorean worked on before he gull-winged out of Chevy in 1973. Let's get into a walk around. We'll get into the ad a bit and talk about the car. Overall, the body, the stance of the car comes across pretty sharp, which was one of the reasons why I focused on the car in the first place. The bumpers are intact. The bumperettes look original. It's got the badging on the car, the SS badging, the 454 badging on the side. Aftermarket wheels. Looks to be repainted, obviously. The hood stripes, I don't believe, are original for its time. But overall, this angle especially, the car looks straight. Doors and hood panels and trunk panels all line up, and those are all positive things. The rear of the car looks tall, looks well. The bumpers don't look damaged and such. So the concern I have about the body comes from this photo. It looks like there's either rust coming through here, or it could be just Bondo, covering on the paintwork. And the paintwork looks very thick and glossy, possibly an enamel paintwork that was done pretty quickly, and maybe not the most professional paintwork as well. But the undercarriage of the car tells an interesting story, and we'll get into that. Basically, this car looks like it may not have been a Texas car all these years, or it was parked at this place for quite some time with a car cover, subject to the weather elements, and the surface rust just built up. And what happened was somebody discovered the car, said, "Hey, I can get this car rolling. I can do some paint work on the car and make it a really nice driver." So they dove in, they changed the lower radiator hose, a power steering hose or air conditioning hose. I'm not sure what that is. And also did work on the transmission to get it running and correctly. So everything else is original on the car. So, your sway bar links, the control arms, even the exhaust look very original. I doubt it's the original exhaust, but it looks very original, and has a lot of surface rust on the car. Under the undercarriage, the floor looks okay. It looks like the wheel well for the driver and the passenger may have more terminal rust through, but we'll take the seller's comment for granted at this time that the car doesn't have any significant rust. Um, Again, when you look at the rear of the car, the original gas tank, the axle, again, this is all original. I mean, everything needs to be addressed on this car to make it a safe daily driver, in my opinion, anyway. And that's part of the restoration that the car would have to undertake. For the engine bay area, the engine looks like an engine that you'd find when you open the hood on a car that's sitting around for a long time. It's original. He put new valve covers on it, a new air cleaner, dove into the master cylinder for the brakes, but you can see some surface rust on the wheel well here and on the fender, and then you can see obvious overspray on the car as well. So that leads me to believe that, the paintwork on the car is kind of substandard, most likely. Aftermarket upper radiator hose, things like that. The That's the engine bay. The interior of the car doesn't look bad at all, though. The seats on the interior look to be original for that year, but the seat surfaces are not original. I don't think they are anyway. And the dashboard doesn't look warped or cracked, but we can only see one photo. The steering wheel is original. So I'm thinking that the car overall on the inside of the car, we don't see the headliner at all, is probably respectable, and not in that terrible condition. Back in the 70s, folks went to Radio Shack and bought a speaker and just made a hole in their door panel. 50 years later, the car's a collectible car, and you say, hey, why did I do that? Right. But that was a thing back then. So that doesn't bother me too much. But overall, the car looks nice. I mean, for me, the headlines on this car is, hey, it's a Chevelle, it's an SS, it's a 454, and the numbers match. That's enough for me to consider the car, especially if I was local. While his $15,000 asking price appears to be on the high side, I would back into the cost of restoring the car as a nice driver and trying to keep the price under $20,000. So, and then configure an offer. So, my offer probably at this point in time would probably be about 10, probably be five figures, but I'd probably start off around $10,000 and test the waters in person. Overall, I don't believe you'd lose money on this car on a long hold. It's rare, and having numbers matching and being a super sport, I think that's pretty cool as well. Anyway, that's about all I wanted to share on this car. That wraps it up. And to get more details on this car, oh yeah, if you visit our Facebook page, um, the Facebook page will give you the links to the ad, and it will also give you all the conversations that we have with all our members. So to go to that, just go to dailyclassics.org, and that's the Facebook group, and it'll take you right there. And yeah, that's the easy way to become a member of the Facebook group. And that's it. So thanks very much for joining us. Please subscribe to this channel below. And again, share with friends who love affordable daily classics. Thank you. Enjoy, and we'll see you again soon.